All right, I'm just checking to make sure this is on. Um, Today is December 1st. So, I'm just going to go over this handout that you have received on the day of Credit Rescue. So, you're basically translating English word to math. This is a very important skill to have because, yes, if you know how to solve algebraical expression, that is very, very important. But a lot of what we're trying to learn is a lot of real life problems. Either you're day-to-day life or in science and math, you're dealing with situations, and you do need to kind of convert the information into a algebraical formula or equation so that you can solve. So this is what we're trying to do. So here's a table with the different words that will give you an idea. Are you talking about adding them together, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, or equal? Okay. So I'm just going to do two example of each. I think most of you have, for this part, you guys are pretty good. So they say write an mathematical expression. So right now, it's not just we're asking you to solve what is this number. We're not asking for that, but we're asking you to come up with an expression or an equation. So in this case, we need to read that question. So they say twice a number is x. So twice, as you can see here, oh yeah, that's double or multiplied. So in this case, it will be two times. Now, a number, we don't know what that is, so let's just call it x. Is means equal. So in this case, for this expression, basically 2 times x equals 10, or you can say 2x equals 10. Okay? And later on, you can solve the equation by doing one step or two step process. Now, this example here, 5 more than a number is 17. So again, 5 more than means 5 plus or plus 5. A number, it's x. Is means equal. So in this case, if you have a number, x, and you have 5 more of that, is 17. So x plus 5 equals 17. Okay? So basically, that's what you do on this page here. I want you to quickly pause the video, and then try to do the rest of this, and then we can check your answers later. So please pause your video now. Alrighty, so in this case here, hopefully you have a chance to do all three of these. So the answer to that, a third of a number is 7, so x over 3. A third of x is 1/3 of x is x divided by 3 equals 7. This one here, a number is 9 less than 14. So a number is 9 less than 14. So in this case, a number is 9 less than 14. So reading it this way, it seems almost like x equals a number equal is 9 less than 14. So that seems like you're talking about 14 minus 9 here. Okay. So this is slightly different. You're basically saying, oh, a number x is 9 less than 14. So 14 minus 9. 42 is 6 more than 4 times a number. Okay. So in this case, let's read this. 42 is, so whatever it is, equals 42. 6 more than 4 times a number. So 6 more than would be plus 6. 4 times a number means 4 times x. So 4x plus 6 equals 42. And then you have to solve for what x is. Okay? So that's how you do these example 1. And for today, what I would like you to do is try to solve for x for all these situations using the methods that I taught you yesterday. Okay? So let's do the example 2. Okay? Example 2. And these can be a little tricky, but there are a way to do it. Okay. So write an equation for each situation. Define any variable you create. Each situation have only one variable. So you should really only have one letter. Okay. So I'm going to do again A and B with you. It costs 4 times as much to go to a movie theater as it is to rent a movie. So let's just say T would be movie theater, how much it costs to go movie theater, and R stands for how much it rents. Okay, so the first line saying it costs 4 times as much to go to a movie theater than it does to rent a movie. So in this case, how much it costs to go to the movie? That's 4 times R, or just 4R. Now, together, both ways of seeing a movie cost $10. So in this case, how much it costs to go to the movie theater plus how much it is to rent a movie, if you add them up together, it's $10. So write an equation to find the cost of renting a movie. So basically, what you need to have at the end is your equation here needs to have an R because you're looking for how much it is to rent a movie. Now, in this case, what you should do is this. Your first sentence gave you almost like an equation. T equals 4R. How much it costs a movie is basically 4 times as much as renting it. So what I'm going to do is, and then the next line gives you this other equation, T plus R equals 10. Since you're only allowed to have one variable, and this variable will need to be an R, what you should do is substitute 4R into T here. Okay, since T equals 4R, so this T plus R, well, you can say, oh, this is really just 4R plus R gives you 10. Okay, so that would be an equation of how to find the cost of renting a movie. Okay, you have an equation, you have R, which is how much it costs to rent a movie. So you can use this equation to find out how much it costs to rent. Okay. And then you can simplify it and then solve the equation. Now let's do this one. Another example. Lake Ontario is 77 kilometers shorter than Lake Erie. So let's just say O, okay? Let's just use the letter O for Ontario and Erie, E for Erie, okay? So the first sentence you have is Lake Ontario is 77 kilometers shorter than Lake Erie. So in some ways, you can say Lake Erie is Lake Ontario plus 77, right? Because if you have Lake Ontario is 77 kilometers shorter than Lake Erie. So Erie would be O plus 77. The length of 2 lakes together would add up to 699. So E plus O gives you 699. Find an equation to find the length of Lake Ontario. So again, you want to have one equation that have O in it. Okay. So again, this here sets it up perfectly. E equals O plus 77. So again, I will substitute this O plus 77. We'll plug it in here. Okay, because this other sentence saying E plus O gives you 699. Well, E is equal to 0, not 0, O plus 77. So O plus 77 plus O is 699. Okay. By the way, when I say this 0, I'm going to use a dash to tell a difference. This is 0 and this is O. Okay, letter O. So again, this would be the equation that you can use because it has O in this equation. You can use it to solve for the length of Lake Ontario. Okay. So I use this equation that they say, oh, the length of both lakes together is this. And I just basically come up with, I have 2 equations, 2 letters, and I just substitute one into the other to make sure the one that I left behind have the letters that I want. This one was renting a movie, so I want R's. This one I want O, so I left it there. Okay, so pause this video for now. pause this video for now and try to do the other two examples, okay? And then I will have the answer right there. Okay, so hopefully you have a chance to figure these two equation out. So as you can see here, I already have done this equation. So you would, because you're looking for total number of black keys, okay? Black keys, I'll use B for black. So 88 minus B minus 16 equals B. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. Now, this other here, Bob is 7 years older than, and I'm looking for Robert. So the final answer for this one, again, you want to have the age for Robert. So again, you want to have the age of Robert. So the equation needs to have a R in there. So in this case, I would have R equals, what's it? Bob is 7 years older than Robert. So R would be B minus 7, right? Bob is 7 years older than Robert. So Robert would be B minus 7. Sum of their age is 29. So I want to find an equation that has R. Now, you notice here, I have R equals B minus 7, but I want to, so in some ways, if I substitute this in, I only have B's. That's not what I want. I want to have an equation that find the age of Robert. So you kind of go back to this equation again, this sentence again, and figure out a different way to rearrange it. If Robert is Bob minus 7, that's how you find the age of Rob. Well, to find the age of Robert, isn't that just, to find the age of Bob, isn't it just Robert plus 7 years older? Okay. So in this case, now I have a different way to kind of make out this equation. So I'll substitute this R plus 7 into this part here. So I should have R plus 7 equals 29. Okay. Now, for some of you, maybe because the way you organize the letters is a little different, but so how do you know, sir, that I have made the correct answer? What you could do is this. You could simplify this so that you only have one, so you only have letters on one side and numbers on the other. So I'll use this one here because I have a little bit more space. So if I want to check whether my expression is the same as someone else's, what I do is I'll simplify this. R plus R gives me 2R. 2R plus 7 equals 29. Okay, so if I move this 7 to the other side, I'll have minus 7 onto the other side. Or I do the opposite operation. 2R plus 7, opposite of plus 7 is minus 7, equals 29 minus 7. What I've done this side, I also have to do it this side. So this and this becomes 0, so I have 2R equals 22. So if your equation is the same as, kind of simplified to 2R equals 22, then your equation would be the same as mine. Okay? So right now, what I would ask you to do is use the method that you learned to solve one-step or two-step equation. Solve for R, solve for O, B, and R. Okay? Solve for those. And then use that time to do the rest of the homework that I assigned yesterday. Okay? It is very important for you to know how to solve one-step or two-step equation because that's a foundation you need to solve for the multiple step equations. Okay? So hope this helps. Let me know if you have any other questions. Okay? I'll see you on Monday.